So let's start. What do we start? Let's say you bring in any character that you have. Either it's Mixamo or a model that you've modeled, or even if it's a ZBrush character, you bring it into Unreal. I'm going to use a MetaHuman, and I will go into the blueprint. There it is, and here on the side I can see exactly what I need. So if I press on the body, I can see the body shape. If I double click on it, it'll open up this. I want to export this into Marvelous Designer, then simulate clothing. So let's do that. So I'll select the body and I will do make static mesh, and I will have it under characters. Okay, I'll put it here and I will call it body, and then I will change it. I'll pull it body, save. It's shoes, double click on that. There you know. I'll select them and I go to do make static mesh, and I will have them on the characters, and I will call it shoes. And the face, let's have my character's face, double click on that. Ooh, that's too much. So what I'll do is I'll go into character, go into bones, and I will do none. So we will not see the bones. So we can see our friend's face. Select this, but don't need the eyes. So let's do make static mesh as well, under characters, and I'll call it head. Now this is the blueprint, so I don't really need it here right now. I'm going to delete it, and I will put all three in the scene, and let's zero them out. One, the head should be zeroed out as well, and also the shoes. So I can select them in the content browser, and then it'll ask me, hey, what do you want to do with the asset action? I'm going to do export. And here I will create a folder, and I will call it FBX. This is what I call the folder that I will basically export all the FBXs, OBJs, whatever it is. I'm going to call it body, and then I'm going to just export, and then it's going to prompt me again, head, export, and of course the shoes. Export. That's it. We can now leave Unreal Engine. Okay, so now we're in Marvelous Designer. That's where I want to create the fabric from, or the cloth from. And we're here. Now, there's a little caveat, and I need to tell you about this, but we'll do it when we export the file, or when we export the garments. So what I'll do now is I will import our character in. We'll do our FBX, and let's do body first. And it asked me, hey, okay, let's do automatically thing. We don't need joint animation because we didn't put any joints. We want to do it in centimeters, and we have our body. Let's add some more stuff. So import, add, let's do FBX, and we'll add the head. Same thing. I'm just skim through it. Okay, we have the head, and let's add the shoes. We might need to use them because we're going to use pants, right? FBX, let's add the shoes. And thing. Yes, no T-pose, no A-pose, that's all we have. So we have our character in Marvelous Designer. So now you can create your own garments, or you can have stuff that comes with the software. So I'm just going to use a t-shirt for this example. Just going to put it right here, and then I'll select the whole thing, and I'll just drop it down a little bit. Maybe that it's a little bit too big, so I'm just going to double click on here, and with shift I'm going to scale it a bit. Let's simulate this. Okay, I can even scale it a little bit more. Simulate. That looks okay. Yeah, that looks good. And let's give him some pants as well. Double click, head. Okay, so we have our pants here. Ooh, they look big. They look really big. Look where it starts. Like it needs to be something along the line of being somewhere here. So I'll do the same thing. Let's select them. I don't know if you guys know how to use Marvelous Designer, you probably know what to do next. But if you don't, I can create a tutorial that you guys want. It could be even smaller. Let's bring it up a bit and let's simulate that so it will have our simulation. Seems like it's okay. I'll just need to take the shirt out. One. And I will need to fix this. Okay. Do we like this? I'm not sure. I kind of liked when there's like folds and this is fine here. Think. Untuck his shirt. Make sure that it's falling back. Let's also give him some color. So these are the pants. So let's give him gray. That will give him the properties of what we want the fabric to be. So when I do this and I simulate, it will move differently than what it was. It wouldn't be the same properties as before. Okay. Now this, I will give him a different color. New light gray, but no what. Do this. I mean, you can add textures on that and everything. But for now, this is good for us. So we have clothes on our character and we want to use that in Unreal Engine. Now, if this is the shirt, and I will check the costume, the physical property of the cloth. I just want it to be just cotton, where we can check and see how it looks like, which is fine with me. Let's go here and let's select them right here. Let's select the patterns for the shirt and see the particle distance is 20, which is a little bit dense, even though that's the default from Marvelous Designer. But if I go to display, and then here I will go into environment, and so show statistics. You see the number, the vertices, 6,519, which is good. What you need to do is to make sure that you have the right performance in Unreal Engine. It needs to be in the area of 11,000. Then you'll have a proper performance right now, the way it stands right now. Make sure that you're 11,000 or less. Don't make it too big, because don't make it too high. Because if I now take it, let's say to 10, you can see that the number increased significantly. And even now, if I simulate this, you'll see that it's a little bit slower on the performance. So make sure that you take it to 20 or even 30, but then it will not look as good in Engine. So take it to 20 and you have 6,500, and this is what we need to do. And I'll do the same thing with the pants. If I do 50, you see that it dropped significantly, but you can also see that it's lacking information. It's lacking faces. So keep it on 20, and in general, all you have here in the scene is 6,500 and we're golden. When you export this, you have to do one thing. Because these are two different materials, we have fabric A, which is a cotton canvas, fabric B, which is our pants. I actually knit cotton jersey. So it's two different properties, two different physical properties. And if you want to maintain that, and that's the beauty of 5.4 now, and Unreal Engine 5.4, you will export from Marvelous Designer, and it will export everything, including the physical properties of the material of the garment. And you want to maintain that. If you don't, you can do it manually, and it's fine as well. But in order to do that, what I would do, I would save this as a project. Save as project, put it in FBX, and I will create a new folder, and I will call it MD Objects. We'll call it full clothes to human. Save it. And what I'll do now is I'm going to select the patterns of the pants, and I'll delete them, and I will save it as a different project. I just like to have the options. So here I will call it shirt only. Meta-human. That's another new. Control Z for undo, and I'm just doing the same thing while selecting the shirt. Get rid of the shirt, and I will save as project, and I will call it pants only. Meta-human. Saves. And what I'll do now is I'll basically export this. And this is what you need to know, how to export from Marvelous Designer to Unreal Engine. So you can press on the USD, export USD, and here you go into your USDA. And we're in FBX, MD projects. Let's go into FBX, create a new folder, Control Shift N, and I will call it USDs. But these are the pence, and it will save it as pence USDA file. Save. Once it prompts you with this. So you have the mesh, the material, select all patterns, which are those patterns right here. Also select all avatars, we don't need that. And you have thin or thick, let's make thick. And then here, unified UV coordinates, all I need is the diffuse map and the normal maps. You're probably going to have the rest turned on. I will just take the diffuse map and the normal maps, and you can see how the UV looks like. And also check this, include garment simulation data, because that's what we want. We want the data from the middle, from Marvelous Designer, to be exported into Unreal Engine. And we can use the data, or we can use the physics simulation of the garment in Unreal Engine. And I will just press OK. It might take a few seconds, so be patient. Nice. So now what I'll do is I'll open up the shirt only right here. So I'll open up shirt only. Do open, not add, and we'll do OK. Pedo. And I will do the same thing, export USD. Make sure that you change it to USDA, which is the second one in line, and I will call it shirt. Save. Now we'll do the exact same thing. I'll uncheck the avatars. I want to do thick. Here, just a diffuse map and normal map, and make sure that include garments. Simulation data, and I'll do OK. Done. So now, make sure when you install the software, I downloaded the latest version, which should be 2024.0.173, because that is the version that came out so that we can do the USD to Unreal Engine. So make sure that you have that. If you don't, I'll show you what happens. Let me open up this project in an older version of Marvelous Designer. This is an older version. And if I want to export this as USD, I still have the option to use USDA. And here I will call it numbers and shirt USD. Save. So now here I will have mesh material all the same without avatars. And here we have this now. Single object or multiple object. We can use the multiple object, it doesn't really matter, and let's do it thick. And let's scroll down, diffuse map and normal maps, and you can see that here I don't have the option to have maintain the physical data from Marvel's Designer, which is okay, we can do it manually afterwards, and let's export that. And we're back in Unreal Engine. So let's create a new folder, and we'll call it MD Gloss. And let's start. So let's right click, go into physics, and choose cloth asset. And I'll call it shirt. Get a human cloth. You can also right click and start typing cloth, and Unreal Engine will populate what you maybe meant, and that's what I meant, and I'll call it pants. And that's a human cloth. Because we bring in two separate USDs. Remember that the cloth, the shirt has different properties than the pants, and I want to maintain that. Otherwise, if you bring in both the shirt and the pants as one unit, as one USD file, it'll give both of them the same attributes, and probably you don't want that. So let's start with this. This is what it opens. Now it says cloth asset terminal invalid. The LOD1 as 0 is invalid. Now we see all this. This is pretty scary, pretty frightening, but don't be alarmed. Now I'll show you what happens when you try to import from an older version of Marvelous Designer. So if you go into the first node, USD import, and here it says USD file. So I'll press on the three dots here, zip it to where I want, which we have the shirt, the pants, and the older version, the shirt USD. If I press on this and I'll bring it in, I have an error that is appearing here, and you will see that there's nothing shown right here. And that's a problem. That's what happens in this version, an older version of Marvelous Designer. It will not bring it in. There's a way to do it, but you lose the data from Marvelous Designer. We're going to use the USD that is proper. So I'm going to select this, and I'm going to do shirt, because this is a shirt cloth, shirt MetaHuman. I'm to open, and once you do that, you will see that here is these are our patterns. You can see it at 3D as well, and this is our shirt from Marvelous Designer, which is nice. I'll save that. Nothing that I could do, I can actually basically now go to the pants, and I will make sure that it imports the USD that I want, which is pants USDA. Open it, and the pants will be populated here. 2D sim, let's change to 3 so we can see how the pants look like. It's cool. We see them here as well. I'll need to go to the shirt. Let's zoom out till we can see the shirt in 3D view. Nice. If I go into preview, I can basically select part boy, and I think it is M short underweight body. So we have it. We don't have the head, which is fine. I don't really need the head right now. Now the thing is, if I put animation on it, nothing will happen, because we do need to do some extra stuff. And I'll show, if I press and do body walk, you'll see that I can play the animation, but the shirt doesn't really move with our character. So let's do that. So now let's go not one by one, but let's see what we can do in Unreal Engine with our class. So here we have transferable skin weights, and it's asking me to give skin weights that he can copy from the actual skeletal mesh to our shirt or to a Marvelous Designer object. So here, the source mesh, I will basically look for our character, which is M sort underweight. We'll do accept. Now if I give it the animation, you'll see that the shirt gets the same weight, skin weight, as our character, which is amazing, which is really nice. Now what else do we need now? We need to add weight map. And as you can see here, our character, our shirt is all black, which means that nothing is basically getting the properties from the cloth. So now what I can do is if I scroll down, I will do invert. So everything will be white, which means that everything is now affected by the cloth, by the Marvelous Designer cloth. So if I press accept, and I will start the simulation, you'll see that that's what happened. And that happens for a number of reasons. So let's take it back. Let's stop the simulation and take it back. Now if I press on this again, now everything is white. But what I do want is I do want to maybe not affect everything to be moving with the cloth. Maybe we do, but we'll need to do some other things first. So I will keep on going by the arrows. Let's go here, max distance. Okay, we'll see what's in here. That's fine. Thing was in stretch, all that stuff. It's all stuff that comes with the new Chaos cloth. It's all done. You can of course do it manually. Here is the wind that we can add, which we love so much. But let's go into the collision. Simulate solver config. That's fine. We can fix this as well. Set physics. Now it's asking for physics asset. So for that, I will check if I have the hem sort underweight body physics, which is our character's physics asset. I'll press on that. And now if I start the simulation, we'll see what happens. So you can see that you're going to play it. You will see that we have the cloth, the shirt working pretty good. Pretty good, and it's got the properties that we asked to have from Marvelous Designer, because we said that we checked that little box when you exported the file into Unreal. Now we can see that there are some issues and some errors in the arm here and the shoulder, and in the shoulder here, and that is all a case of the collision, that physical collision that we have. But we can fix this, we can tweak it. You can really spend a lot of time just fixing that stuff in Unreal Engine. So I'll stop this. Now, this is the physics asset. Let's double click on that. And let's see what causes the problem. So I can see here, the problem was somewhere here. You can see why. Now if I want, I can see here, I was to show all bones on the left here. Then if I go into character, and I'll show the bones because it's very important, all hierarchy, so I can see where the shoulder is. And something here, I think I need to add another object. Okay, so we have lower arm, upper arm. Well, I think that maybe I can add an object here. Yeah, let's add here. So I will right click on that and I will do add shape, and let's add a sphere. Let's do the same thing with the other arm. So let's do, and it's this, right click, add shape, sphere. Nice. Let's save this and let's see what it looks like. Now, there you go. Now, I don't know if you like this. I kind of do. It looks odd, but it's actually cute. Okay, let's stop this nonsense. Okay, let's go back and let's fix this. So now I can select these and basically scale them together to the shape that I want. Now I know that the problem was more on the side, so let me save this and see how we stand with it. So if I start you can see that it's still very high. So I can basically take them down a bit, and then I can see what happens here. It changes to world. I'm pressing on Control and tilde, and it changes from object mode to world to space. Now I might need to take them a little bit to the back. That's where the problem was. Save, go back, in this to this. Oh, it is still, but you can see that it's way better than it was. Another thing that I can do, and I'll probably do it, is I'll give a little bit more distance in the simulation, because you can do that. Take it back, stop the simulation, and I do still think that it probably could maybe go a little bit back, and even this sphere can take it a little bit back. It doesn't have to be so accurate, but accurate enough. And I'll save this, go back. And now that we have the collision, we do collision thickness. Let's change this to 1.3. So basically, it will take the collision that we have, and instead of doing it on 1, which is very close to the object, you see that once I give it on 3, it is better. There's still glimpses of, you can see the skin underneath, but still, it's way better. So let's change this just to show you what I mean by that. Let's change this to 1 point what? Let's see what happens. That's way, way better. Now, it could make the character maybe look a little bit puffier, but if you are more accurate with building your body physics asset, like these guys, then it'll be nicer for you to experiment with that and see how it looks for you. Okay, let's save this for now. And you can see that it did everything for us automatically. Let's do the same thing with our pants. So we have the transfer skin weight. Let's make sure that we give it our character. You can see him here. That's nice. And we want in the preview to accept. Let's give it body walk. And our character should be let's make sure that we have invert, and here I will mistakenly paint black the area on the top. So let's go here, paint. We'll take the brush size. It's maybe too big, but we'll keep it for now. Attribute value, we'll just take it to 0. Int. Maybe strength, I will take it a little bit less. So you will see, and voila. This area I don't want to be affected, so it will stick to our character. And this part will basically have the paid weights of our character. Maybe even top to here, and maybe here. Let's take it to smooth. Let's smooth it a lot. And probably have a little bit more gray or black area. And let's accept it. Whoa! Do you guys know what happened? Do you know why this happens? School. And And that is because we haven't given our cloth or our pants node the simulation or the collision physical asset, which is our character. If I press on this, you can see here that we don't have the physics asset. Oh, let's do this and let's see where the physics asset is. So if you go into content, meta-humans, go into common, go to male, sort, underweight, ID. You can see that the physics asset is right here. It says so here. If I zoom in, physics asset or animation blueprint, if I double click on that, you will see something that we are already familiar with. What I'll do is I will select it. Once it's still selected, so what I'll do here, I will just press on this and it should populate what I'm selecting in the content browser. And now if I press on this and I play it, we'll see that this is what's happening. Now we can see that seems like he's got some iPhones in his pocket. He can definitely address that in the physics asset, which is here. You can see why it is happening. It's because of these. If I scale them down, so it would have a nice shape. Of course, you can make the physics asset to look the way you want it to look, and it will be so much better. You can have better shapes, maybe just cylinders that go properly. I'm just gonna shape that. I would probably have done actually a shape from the whole upper leg, and then same thing with the lower leg. Just one, not for every joint, for every bone. We can actually do that, but for now, for what I'm showing you, I think that you get the point. You're all smart people, and you will get the point. So let me just scale this, because I know that the shoes, the pants, actually, we need them because we need the interaction. Man, let's scale that on Z. Save this. Let's see what happens. This will basically go back to the first, like restart the simulation and see the shapes as if he's got stuff in his pocket. And the knee isn't a little bit of an issue, but it's something that we can actually fix. And you can really take your time and make it as accurate as you can. Let's do friction. Let's add some friction. There's going to be some friction between the collision and the actual cloth, the actual fabric. You can see that the garment is really moving. It's pretty cool. Let's give it 1. We'll do the same thing with, let's wind it, restart the simulation. I will add some damping. Here's 0.01. Let's do 0.1, which is a lot, and the highest. Let's do 0.5. Well, it would move a little bit more realistic, and it will not be as floppy. Save this for now. Let's go back to our shirt and do the same thing. So here, I'll zoom out and go out all the way up here, because that's where this thing is. It's here. Let's change this to 4. Let's make it 7. Let's play it. You see that if I take it too low, this is what happens. But let's do 7. Seems like it's working okay for the shirt. What about the pants? Let's do this 8. No, let's go back and paint a little bit more of the skin weights here. So I kind of like the shape of it here, so I would probably make this a little bit darker. The thing is, with the pants, we could have probably exported it a little bit more with more vertices, so you will not have the way it looks without the painting. Now we'll do smooth. It is stronger. It will smooth out. Really just trying to find a better visuals for that. Okay, this off, tweaking a little bit, just a little bit the collision object, the collision shapes. We can play with it. You can always play with it and see where it gets you. But now that we're done, let's save this. I just want to maybe see what we can do here so it's not as loose as it is right now. So let's say the collision thickness is 1.4 and friction 0.8. Let's do it 1. Stimulate that and see. Okay. Let's do 0.2 just to check. Ooh, you can see it already. Nice. Let's give it 1.5 for the friction. Yeah, that's better. That's actually very nice. Let's do 2 before we continue on. Okay. So now that we're here, let's create cinematic. Let's create a level sequence. You all know how to do it. Let's call it Marvelous Designer MetaHuman Cloth. Let's go in, and in here, I want to maybe go into our MetaHumans body, a boy, and let's put him in our scene. And that's zero him out and close up on him. Let's add the actor. Here he is. We don't really need the control rig right now. You'll remember this from previous video. Go to the details and in add, put this up. And add, let's add chaos. I'm just tapping chaos and then I want the cloth. And I'll call it shirt. Because if you remember, guys, we separated the two objects because each one of them is got different properties from Marvelous Designer. So now what I'll do here is I'll go and to where I see the cloth, which is right here, and I'll check the shirt cloth, and you will see that it is populated on our MetaHuman. And now I will add another one. So listen to this and then start typing cloths or chaos, and then there it is, and we'll call it pants. Type mounts, and it doesn't need to be under this. So what I'll do is just drag it under body, and the shirt should be under body as well. Okay, so for the pants, let's go here and cloth asset, open this and give them pants, and the pants are also populated. Nice. Now what we can do, instead of hitting the simulation, what I can do is just check the simulating editor, and it will basically create the simulation for us. And for the pencil, do the same thing. Check this. Now we don't have animation, so we should add animation. Let's do walk. Boy, walk. And we can see that the simulation already started. We play. There you go. You can see that we have the shirt reacting. If I pause it, you can see that it does have an effect, which is pretty cool. Now let's add time dilation of the track, and we'll make it 0.6. It will be a little bit slower so we can evaluate and see the cloth moving. That's pretty cool. And that's pretty much it. I kind of wanted to show you how this works. And again, you feel free to go in and play with it. It's really cool that this is available right now. And it just gives a little bit of subtlety to your animation and a little bit more believability, I think, when you have nice cloth animation added to your scene, to your game, or to your animated short, or whatever it is that you're working on. I'm still going to continue and investigate this and see what else could be done with this. But as far as I can see, this is really cool. Now, in the comments below, please let me know if you want to see something more regarding this. And whenever I have something new, I will post it for you guys. And again, thank you guys for being here. Please hit the like and subscribe if you haven't done so. And until the next time, guys, Goblination.